Good morning, good happy Friday morning to you. I am with Amy Strauss, and she is a new construction realtor specialist. As you know, new construction is all around the Chicagoland area, and what I want my buyers to understand is how important being able to work with an experienced realtor like myself or Amy to get you through the process. So today I'm at Alcove, M.D.P. Amy, would you like to tell us a little about it?
Sure. Alcove is a brand new development that's being built from the ground up. It's 55 residences. We are the largest development to be built in Wicker Park since 2007. So we'll have 12 townhomes and 43 condominiums.
Okay, and what's your price range?
Starting in the 600s, going up to 1.4.
Okay, and are you sold out? Have you sold out of any?
We are well over 20% sold and breaking ground shortly. So we've done tremendously well. And our buyers now are taking advantage of the pre-construction pricing. And so it's the best time to get in with a new development is early in the beginning, because you have an opportunity to make selections and get a discounted price and then move into a brand new home.
So let's talk about that for a minute. You said that the best time is to get the pre-construction prices.
Yes.
Because they're lower than what they're going to be in December.
Yes.
And definitely lower than what they're going to be when people start moving in.
Correct.
Okay.
So, yes, if this development were built and completed, we would be charging a lot more for it. We're an average of $450 per square foot, which is fantastic for new construction. And if people could walk in and see 1,800 square feet all on one level and get an idea of how big the space is, they would pay way more for it than what we're charging now. And so the developer is incentivizing buyers to be a part of our journey.
Okay. So I'm going to ask some questions that buyers need to know when they are thinking about buying new construction.
Okay.
So the first question is that we already talked about that it's cheaper for you to buy now.
Yes.
But let's talk about earnest money.
Okay.
Typically, how does that work? I know a lot of times in some markets you could put down as little as $1,000, or you could put 10 or 20% down. For new construction, how does that work?
So it is very different. So with an existing property, you would put down a minimal amount of earnest money and you would close in 45 to 60 days, pretty quickly. With new construction, you do put down a full 10% earnest money. That earnest money is deposited into an interest-bearing escrow account. At Alcove, we're depositing the earnest money at our title company, and the title company will pay our buyers interest. So our buyers are getting anywhere from 1.5% to 2.5% interest on their earnest money that will be credited to them at closing. But it is 10% earnest money, and the way to think of it is that it's a 10% investment. Our interest rates are more than you would get in a money market account. So it's, a lot of people would love to shift all their investments and get that kind of return every year. So it's a nice investment there. And then in addition, the property will build some equity before you even get to move in as well.
Okay, so they put 10% down earnest money, but that doesn't preclude the down payment that they have to put down with the lenders. Like sometimes they have to do like a 20% down payment. So essentially, you might be putting down up to 50% of the purchase price, or 40% of the purchase price for new construction. So 10% for earnest money, and another 20% for the loan. So that's more like 30% if I do my math. If I do my math correctly, it's more like 30%.
You're exactly right.
Okay.
Yes, and that is what. So you only have to deposit 10% with the developer.
Okay.
The rest would be deposited at the time when you close.
Okay. So what about contracts? Most buyers and buyers agents will use the 7.0 revised multi-board contract. When you're purchasing new construction, it's a little different. How is it different?
So you will not be working with the typical MLS purchase agreement at all. The purchase agreement we have for Alcove is 48 pages long. So it is an extensive document, and it's actually a sign you don't want to buy from a developer that isn't using a developer contract. That shows a level of professionalism when they've prepared their own purchase agreement, because that purchase agreement includes the warranty information. It includes the process of construction, what's included, specific specifications on appliances, Viking appliances, on the cabinetry that's going to be included. So you want that level of detail to be included with it. And the MLS purchase agreement is for an existing property, not for something that's being built brand new. So there is a larger purchase agreement.
Okay, so for the contract, it covers the finishes. So the buyer comes in, and there's not a standalone building right now for them to see. So they come into your office space here, and they look at the Alcove townhouses and pictures on the wall, and she has a really cool Alexa go into presentation mode, and then we have the appliances, and then shortly I'll show you the finishes for the floor. So all of that is included in
Correct.
the contract.
Correct. So the developer will include like at Alcove, we have a very high level of finish that's included in your price. You have hardwood floors included in your living room, your bedrooms, your hallways, your closets. You have beautiful cabinetry included, and then you have a selection of finishes within that. So you get to make some choices and have some options to pick things along the way.
Okay, so again, when you're buying new construction, you want to work with a developer that's taking the time to do their own contract, because that shows the level of professionalism.
Yes.
Okay. What about taxes? How does that work for new construction?
Taxes are different as well with new construction. So currently our land is a giant parking lot. And so the Cook County assessor will be assessing the property as an undeveloped piece of land. Cook County bills in arrears, so we are a year behind.
Correct.
So once the building is built, it takes about a year and a half for the assessor to value the property as a developed property. So in the meanwhile, the developer and the buyer work out a tax proration. So everyone pays for the taxes up until the day of their closing. But one of the advantages is, in it being an undeveloped piece of property, is your taxes will be a little bit low the first year and the second year, and then it'll get up to market rate by the third year.
Okay, so what are you projecting maybe your taxes for this development will be?
About 1.5% of the purchase price, and that's about what a lender would escrow. So if a lender were taking a tax escrow on your monthly payment, so that's where I think that's a fair amount to say. I think 1.5 is a little high, but the city of Chicago is going through some tax changes as well. So I'd prefer to have people budget higher than what they would need.
So what about the inspection and the walkthrough? Now, when I'm working with a buyer that's buying pre-existing homes or condo, they have their home inspection, and then they come back and they tell the seller, this is what I want remedied, and then they do the final walkthrough on the last day.
Correct.
But with new construction, it's a little different.
It is.
Walk us through that process.
So that's one of the nice things, I know you've probably experienced it, I've experienced it as a realtor, that buyers want everything brand new, and there isn't a lot of new product on the market. So when you're looking at something that's 10 years old and the home inspector says, okay, this garbage disposal switch is not up to code now, and the code has changed since it was developed, and a seller doesn't want to change it, and the buyer is afraid of it, and so there's a back and forth that goes on when you're about purchasing a used home, about what condition it's in, what do I have to budget for later for big repairs and changes. With a brand new home, you'll move in and everything will be in good, brand new, functioning order. So you can bring a third-party home inspector in with you when the home is delivered at the very end. But a representative of the general contractor will be there with you. I always encourage buyers, do your final walkthrough during the day. Don't try and do it after work, late at night in the winter and it's dark. Do it in the day, a bright sunny day, have all the windows open, walk through, but the developer will let you, if there's any paint touch-ups that need to be done, if all the appliances will be hooked up, everything will be in good, there'll be brand new appliances, the warranties for the appliances will be conveyed to your buyers, and everything will be brand new and up to code. And the building has to go through a series of inspections from the city of Chicago and the building code department to get to the point where, we've delivered it. So everything is up to code and brand new. And
so the buyer can have their third-party home inspector come through for their final walkthrough. And typically, there's a punch list given
Correct.
that that either the buyer or the buyer's home inspection company would produce, and then that's handed to the seller or the developer, and then the developer will say, yes, I'm going to fix everything.
Yes.
That's the perfect scenario.
Right. We're working with a third-party general contractor, so all of our labor is going to be professional labor that's doing all of the work in the building. So it's a professional electrician, and all of those trades guarantee their work. They're proud of the work they do. It's professional union labor, and they know what they're doing, and they want to deliver something that's of great quality. So the general contractor will be present when you do that walkthrough, and they will make sure that everything is in good functioning working order. And so they want to make sure that now at the point when a buyer walks through, the seller has already walked through the home, and the representative from the general contractor has, but you always find something. There's something that got cracked when they were moving it in, and they'll fix it. Okay. And that sometimes, like if it's a nick on a cabinet, that takes more than a day. These are custom cabinets, so they take some time to get those moved back and forth.
Okay. Just a couple of more questions. Warranties and implied warranties. So there's warranties on the physical property,
correct,
like appliances and heating
correct,
system. But then there's a different kind of warranty on the construction of the building. Is that correct?
Correct.
So tell everybody about that.
Any manufacturer warranties that are included with the appliance are transferred over to the purchaser. So if there's Viking appliances our appliances are the #1 Consumer Reporter rated appliances on the market today for a home cook. So these are really good appliances. Viking will honor the warranty, and so you'll work with Viking, which will go longer than 1 year. Anything within your home is warranted for a year. And so if anything should happen, if a light switch stops working, you can call the developer, and they will bring the general contractor in and make that repair.
Okay. Now, I had my list of questions, and I've been bouncing around.
That's good. I like it though.
I have a question about drop dead date.
Okay.
Now that's, as a buyer, you come in, you meet with someone like yourself.
Correct.
And you pick out all your finishes.
We should say drop dead has nothing to do with anybody dying. No one's going to drop dead. You're all going to be okay.
But, I don't want buyers to think that once they make a selection,
right,
and because we know that things change, finishes change, painting changes, because they always want you to spend more money. So what's the drop dead date? So I come in, I've made my selections, I purchased everything, and then we've gone from high gloss. What did you tell me these were? High gloss Italian?
Beautiful, imported Italian cabinetry, yes.
And now it's, white is no longer in, it's
right,
navy blue.
Right.
What happens in that
As
respect?
realtors, we know that people are changing their cabinets like furniture nowadays, which is a remarkable trend. I encourage people to, pick what you like and what you want to enjoy. Most developers usually go a little bit forward on the design cycle, so they're not getting what's popular today, what's popular tomorrow. Like our kitchen is very forward in the trend. And so when the homes are delivered, they will be there. Now, in terms of dropping dead, we want to talk about that again. So let's circle back to that.
Yeah.
One thing that buyers have to be is flexible with new construction. It is a complicated process, and wheedling things down when you're buying something before it's built. If anyone's ever, and I always use the example, if you've ever had to have a repair done in your home, like let's say you wanted to add a light fixture where there wasn't a light fixture, and so you call and have someone cut a hole in the drywall, and then the electrician comes, and then they don't have the right tools for it, and then they go to the hardware store, and then someone comes back, and then you have someone else come to patch the hole and to repair around it, and someone won't show up one day, and then someone will show up the next day. All of this leads to, when you're doing that, for 55 homes at the exact same time, there's a contingency time that they build into that schedule, but you have to be flexible. And I always tell people, that's part of the discounted prices, is that you're getting it flexible. A drop dead date is basically saying that we will deliver it by this day, but we always look for buyers to be flexible as it comes closer to closing.
Okay. So I think I know I've gotten answers to all my questions. Do you have anything that I might have missed that you can think of?
No, I think that the biggest thing, I think what's exciting and what we've talked about, is that when buyers want new homes, they want to move into something that is done and complete. People are busy nowadays and they don't have time to manage a remodel. This old home is not what this generation is about. We're
No.
busy forward professionals that are on call all the time. And your home should be able to be a retreat. You should be able to walk in and enjoy it and share memories there and have a family there and all those wonderful things, and not have to worry about contractors coming in and doing work. We should let us take care of that.
I love it. Amy's 100% right. There's an extreme market for new construction or recent renovations. And both Amy and myself, Amy's no longer selling residential property. She
Correct.
is attached to the Alcove project.
Right. I am I'm with the On Collaborative team. On Collaborative is an on-site sales and marketing team within the Coldwell Banker family. And so we specifically do on-site sales and marketing around the country. So we have developments in Chicago, in Florida, and New York, Los Angeles. We do this nationwide, and there's a group behind me that supports me that is experts on it. So we've looked at the contracts, the floor plans, the finishes, and we are staying on trend and up ahead and helping our developer clients do that. What's nice for brokers, and I think to know, is that I'm not going to steal your clients. I'm going to support you in the process. I want our buyers to be represented by a professional realtor. As a realtor, that's important to me as well.
Well, thank you, Amy.
You're
I think
welcome.
I'm all
This
out of
was fun.
questions.
Yes.
All right, so if you would hit that button right there, and we'll say